This is the greatest podcast for elite losers. We are live back in New York City after a 2-week break because two reasons. We were, if you can't, I don't know if you can hear, I still have like this thing with my throat. I'm not sick, but it's like a muscle strain. So I didn't want to talk as much as I had to. And in that not wanting to talk, I did 26 podcasts last week trying to avoid talking. But my co-host of Two Goons Podcasts, which I highly recommend, starting to blow up. We have some episodes that have hit 40,000 downloads, which is crazy. But my co-host booked it. Like I went to AVN, adult. What's the VN stand for? Adult Video N. Whatever it stands for. I went to the awards. What I like to call it, the big Sexpo. It's an expo with an S at the beginning. The big sex. Is this working? Or is this recording? Yeah. Okay. We have this stupid mic that I hired a new producer, and he brought. I don't know what the fuck this is. It's a. He says this is a man on the street, and I specifically said, "Don't let my dog jump up," and my dog is jumping up. And so, yeah, we have a new mic. I don't know if this sounds good or we are about to just waste 20 minutes and a voice that is on thin ice right now. I'm doing this for 150 people, maybe, if we're lucky. But we were at the, it was actually a crazy week. We went to Houston to open for Ryan Long. Then we went to Austin to open for Ryan Long. And then we had to fly to LA. I had to miss half of the shows with Ryan because I flew to LA to do X3, which is, dude, we're moving needles in the porn industry. Yes?
It's adult video news.
Adult video news, which is the biggest American expo. Like everyone who's big is big. Everyone who's big is there. Everyone who's big is big. No shit. Everyone who is big is there. And me and p0rn and former producer of this podcast, current producer of Two Goons, Eric Freddy, we all went down there. We did a ton of content, which Eric is downstairs. He's refusing to do this podcast because, God forbid, he walks up a flight of stairs once a week and puts his, I pay this guy $50 to use to do this, and he still hasn't put one of the episodes online. Isn't that fucking crazy? Damn. All he has to do is just upload a goddamn video. So we go there, we do a lot of content, and it was great. Didn't get laid. Been doing comedy with porn stars since December 2024. Comedy with porn stars, and still have never been laid by a porn star. But that's not why I do it. I don't do this to get laid. I'm just saying you would think there would be a little runoff. But that's not why I'm doing this. I am doing this to make funny fucking content, even though I'm losing fans and a following because they're like, "Oh, you're promoting OF chicks." I'm like I don't get this. The whole idea of like growing up in my life would be, oh, maybe you get successful enough, you get to like fuck a porn star. But I guess the mass don't want to, but I would. But so we're doing that all week, and then we're back here. And then at tomorrow morning, this will be released today. We are off to Austin to do a show Saturday night in Austin. Tomorrow night's Friday, but I'm doing 4 shows. And then we go to Vegas to gamble, and then back in LA recording more podcasts. So by end of 2-week period, not including this, I have recorded 36 podcasts in 2 weeks, and man, it's worth it. So with that being said, porn conventions are great. Still going to be doing porn convention. Hopefully doing more stand-up. And I don't know. Like the one thing that was interesting, I posted on my Instagram, and I thought this is how I knew I've topped in my career, because something I would have posted last year would have went super viral. What I posted last week, it was like did you see the AI chicks? Yeah, I thought for sure it was like an actual. They're human beings now. These are human beings, and they're in the rudimentary phases where they just kind of like if you look from 100 yards away, you would think it's a person, but when you get real close, it looks like a stiff figure. And one might argue that being able to like be with like almost not a dead, but a very lifeless like body that can move inches might be exponentially better than actually being with a human being. Like I could see an argument that being with something that has a wet hole that doesn't talk back to you and like kind of moves robotically is so much better than being with an actual human being, both ways, not just for men. I think it would be more of an advantage for men than women, but because women need the emotional connection. But if you're looking at, I mean, I don't know how many fleshlights, you could probably look this up, or, how much fleshlight annual revenue is, and also Autoblow, who I work with. It's not as much as fleshlight, but they do incredible things. But if you're talking about like the annual revenue of a fleshlight, $26 million worth, and that's just the whole. Like, so someone has figured out, and my friends from Autoblow as well, shout out to Autoblow, also hung out with him at AVN. Like, so you're looking at, let's put together $30 million worth of, let's say $35 million worth of holes are sold every year, and it's probably more. So $40 million worth of holes between Autoblow, fleshlight, desperate people who will like makeshift, because in the Dominican Republic they don't have a lot of money, some of these kids, so they'll take a milk carton they'll take a milk carton and they'll cut it together and they'll put it together and they'll make it into a baseball glove. That's why Dominican baseball players have such great hands. So if they're willing to do that for a baseball glove, I'm sure there's some Dominican 19-year-old who's horny and a virgin, and he doesn't like baseball, so he's cutting a milk carton together and then using some of the like plantain grease, some of the like platanos grease, and using it to fuck it. So if we're looking at the e-commerce of fake holes, 50 million a year, 50 to 100 million a year, and that's just a floating hole. Now there's a world where we insert that hole into somewhat of a lifeless body, and now you can fuck that without getting any like, oh, you're looking at my other lifeless friend? Like, could you imagine where you could have two of them together? You have a threesome, and not one gets jealous because you're paying more attention to her lifeless asshole. So my point being, in the rudimentary stages of AI girlfriends, AI boyfriends, let me tell you something, ladies and men who are desperate for relationships, the serial relationship types. The clock is ticking. You are done. There is going to be a opportunity to like have something much better. So that was the other thing. Now, with that being said, too, I also sent, I don't know if you can post this. Do you have the editing skills to post an image of the AI girlfriends? Yeah. I thought they were real sisters.
Yeah, because there is that show of the two sisters with the two heads.
Really?
They're beat.
Oh, yeah. These girls are hot. And I said to Boomer, I'm like, yo, I sent it to a bunch of people. I'm like, yo, we got to get these chicks on the podcast. And then someone snapped back, I'm pretty sure this is AI. And I'm like, maybe, got me. They even had the scar at the back. As you can see, if you can post the two pictures, this one with the scar, I thought for sure. But even knowing, like, there's going to be a time, like, where the AI version of that is real, I think. Like, if they put that together with those objects, you're like, this is there's society we live. We live in, like, the Jetsons. Half are humans, half are... Did you know what the Jetsons are? The cartoon?
Yeah, the old cartoon.
Yeah, the old cartoon. That was based off, like, Now, which is crazy that we are so close to that. And that's what I saw at AVN. And I'm surprised, like, nobody was like, this is the craziest thing ever, because these things were just moving. But until then, I'm not going to go as long as I wanted to, because, again, my throat's kind of sore. Until then, as I mentioned 2 weeks ago on the podcast with Phil and co-producer Tomas, that I was dating on Hinge. And for those who didn't see that, you don't have to read it yet. Let me tell the backstory. I know you're making $100. You're working too hard. You're not making enough money to get that. So I used to date on Hinge, And maybe I'm just more confident in life, and the pictures are better. You know, I have pictures like my teeth are whiter than they were. I feel more confident. I'll take a picture and I'll post a chain outside. Like, so I don't know. There's some hacks that you can do, because at the end of the day, let's be honest, women all care about one thing. Sure, there's some that care about looks and personalities, but they want to know a guy's successful. I don't give a fuck. You know, like you're talking about, like, for the most part, not all of them. This could be the worst take I've ever had, but I stand by it. So this won't ever get me canceled, because I'll never be successful enough, by the way. So I don't care. Like, when people are like, you say crazy things. I'm like, that wasn't crazy, but other things I say, I'm like, but I'll never be successful enough where someone's going to be like, oh, look at that clip of him saying women only care about money. So I would open with, and I posted this last week or 2 weeks ago, take my ATM pin and drain my bank account, or let me take you for an incredible dinner and laughs, and are you down? And question mark. Always end with the question mark. Kind of like the sales thing. Like, you always leave them the balls in their court, because they'll either say yes or no. And I was getting, every day I get 3 to 5 responses, right? Like, I'll do usually like 20 swipes, and then I'm done for the day. I'm paying $40 a month for Hinge. And I'm getting like 3 to 5, and a lot of the time women are going in, like I've said this last time, women are saying, yeah, I'll just take the ATM pin. And I just want to see, but then a lot of them were going on dates with. One I went on a date with in LA, and she 23 years old, quite successful. Like, she drove up in a nice car, like a $100,000 car. So I'm like, oh, this chick's like younger than me, but successful. Then afterwards, I took her up to the house in LA. That we have a house in Hollywood Hills that we record the podcast in. She was really impressed. We hung out, and then we made out afterwards. And she's like, I want to hang out with. She, not only the fact she said I want to hang out, she texted me in an hour and said, can I come back over later that night? But I had to record more podcasts, and eventually I had to pack and go to Vegas. So she sends pictures back and forth. Sent her a cock pic, of course, like any normal man does. You send a cock pic, and then she's like, "Hey, she was like mentioned to, like, she brought up the sugar daddy thing." I said to her, "I'm like, oh, do you want a date, or do you want like a?" She's like, "Oh, I want to be spoiled," and this and the attitude of wanting to be spoiled, like, because obviously, if you're younger than me, and I'm taking you out, I'm going to be paying for all the meals. I'm going to be like, if you want to come to, like, I'm in Vegas, in between Austin and LA. I floated the idea, why don't you meet me in Vegas? I would pay for your travel, and then I would pay for the hotel and stuff like that. So the thing that, like, kind of bothers me, now you need more. So I'm not about that life. I'm not about, like, all these, like, you have to be spoiled, because to me, it's not about the spending the money a little, but it's like, it seems like a very empty thing. Like, it feels like a very, I know dating is somewhat transactional, but this feels overtly transactional. So I'm just like, no dice. And she sent me, what was the exact saying? So we had a conversation, and then she wrote me this.
Start from the top.
It depends where the top is, and I'll tell you.
My body isn't feeling that.
Oh, no, that she was
just
like,
the last text.
Yeah, just the last text, because she was like bitching and moaning about not feeling good, and I called her up, and I was like explaining to her, I'm like, yo, she was like, I don't feel good, kind of like melancholy bullshit, like woman stuff. I'm like, and I was kind of like, hey, you know what? Yeah, fucking sack up. Right? So, and then what was the last part?
You said, after some further thought, I don't think we're a good fit. It felt cheap to me the way you explained things, and I just don't see this working out with the everything considered, especially the testing with the ATM comment. Best of luck.
Well, the ATM comment's a fucking pickup line, you dumb idiot. Like, that was the whole point of the line, is that you're like, or you let me take you out, and I took you out, and I paid for a meal, and then also, too, I floated the idea, meet me in Vegas, and everything will be paid for. Is that cheap? Is that, like, realistically, like, does that sound cheap?
No, that's insane.
Could you not imagine that some chick just said to you, like, or you're gay, you're a gay dude, and some gay, is it working or not?
Yeah, I was checking.
Okay, time. So you're some gay dude, and this older gay man said to you, and you liked him. First of all, liked him, made out with him, and then he's like, I'm gonna go to Florida or wherever. come with me. I'll take care of all the flights and now there's. Would you not feel that's somewhat getting spoiled?
100%. What more could you want?
They want a fucking Fendi bag. They want Chanel. They want like presents. And I'm like, again, I don't blame men who are very successful and or rich and ugly to be in those relationships because of two things. One, it might just be a time thing. Like you just want someone around and once a month for 2 days on the weekend. And when you go on trips where you have to work and you're like, okay, part of this agreement is that you're getting this, that, the other thing. Now, a lot of women will be like, well, my worth, if I'm going to do that, is like a lot of the escorts will say, this is kind of the catch-22 of it. They're like, well, my worth is like if I'm undercharging because I actually think I'm worth $7,000 every 24 hours. Like that's how they think, which is I'm not like against. Like if you're an escort and you think your value is like $7,000 overnight, that's you, right? But this was not that thing. It was like, yeah, I'm into you as a guy. Like we even had the conversation. I'm like, what do you want? Are you into the? Hey, Thor, come here. Come here, I have this for you. I'm like, are you into this? I said that specifically. Do you like me? Or do you want this relationship of like sugar daddy? And she's like, no, I like you. So there's two different things. It's like separating church and state. Like either you're an escort and we're doing this complete sex work thing. And to be honest with you, I'm about that life. Like, so if you're but at that point, I'm just going to get you, it's 15 minutes? Okay, at that point, I'm just going to get you for an hour. Like, that's my thing. Like, I'll spend $1,000 for a high class, maybe not even the highest class escort, for someone sexy, spend an hour, nut twice, done. But this is someone who wants, like, the whole, like, bells and whistles. So I was VMing against this, and she sent me the text, and she's like, and I just hearted it. Like, I don't give a fuck. That's the other thing. I think as you get older in life, the one advantage is, because you broke up with your, right? Doesn't it feel good after you're...
Yeah, there's like that initial dip that sucks, but once you get out of that, you feel way better.
But you think there's a point where you're in that relationship where you think it's like everything, right?
Yeah.
Like even going through the breaking up thing. How long did that last? A couple months?
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it kind of got cut short because everything going on with...
Oh, right. Thank God, right? Yeah. I mean, no, but I'm serious. Yeah. Like, thank God, like, at least the person's like empathetic enough to know, oh, you got family situation. Some people are ruthless. Yeah. Some people don't give a fuck. Like you could have like a sibling dying, hit by a car, and they're like, you know, fucking don't say my, you know. But it was dragging. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I was like, ripcord it. But that's me at 45. But again, you never know because I think he's the greatest man ever. Like in terms of art, and a woman broke his heart. Right. So so you never know. With that being said, I just want to end one thing. I don't like to get too sentimental on this podcast or too serious, but if you can post this image of for all the divide we have in this country, this made me shed a tear in a good way. As you see a Caucasian man and a black man, I hope I'm saying that right. I hope the boomer is not coming out of me. But holding hands side by side at a urinal right underneath a Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Poster. Now, is this a joke? Yes. Like, not by me, but to whoever posted this joke? Maybe. Maybe it is a joke. But maybe it's not a joke. Maybe this is something we can all take together. We can all hold hands. Our white, black, Asian brothers and sisters can all hold hands at urinals, under stalls, and just realize we're a lot closer together than we are further apart. Now, is that an actual sentence grammatically correct? Probably not. But the point that there's a black man and a white man holding hands at a dividerless urinal the way it should be. Dividers are ruining urinals. You should be able to go for a urination at a truck stop and see another man's cock. And if you happen to hold your hands together and bring race relations that much closer, I don't know if that's what he meant when he said, I have a dream, but it is what he meant. So I think that's a good way to end. And yeah, thank you guys for checking in. See you guys soon.